Hey, we just had a perfect intersection of Hollywood ego and leftist lunacy. It's happening down in Georgia. We'll talk about it next on Take That with Kurt Schlichter. So here's what happened. You know, Georgia is now the real Hollywood. Look, I live in Los Angeles. Hollywood is up there, and it's full of meth heads, heroin addicts, prostitutes, tourists, and other weirdos. Hollywood is not where Hollywood gets stuff made. All the studio, there are a few studios around, but they're not necessarily in Hollywood. There's one in Hollywood, and there's others all over the place. Hollywood's no longer Hollywood in any sense of the word. A lot of the reason is giant union contracts and expenses and stuff that make it unprofitable to do a lot of motion pictures here in Los Angeles. So they go out into the world. So that's why so many things are now being made in places like Vancouver and places like Georgia. If you ever watched The Walking Dead, you see that's filmed in Georgia. And one of the big reasons is tax benefits. Georgia will give tax benefits to runaway productions that go to Georgia. Okay, so that's all background. Now, Georgia is a red state. Yeah, it's been kind of trending a little more blue, but not really. Really, deep in its heart, Georgia is a conservative area. And conservative areas are reacting to the current Democrat obsession with killing babies, because that's what it seems to be, at the state level. Now, when I talk about killing babies, what I'm talking about is third trimester abortion. They have kids that can live, and the liberal position is that you can kill them freely. It's okay. It's great. Just whatever. Kill them. That's horrifying. Some of them are even worse. Some of them are like pretty much, well, you know, after it's born, pretty much up until the time you can drive. Yeah, you can off it if it's inconvenient. Anyway, so that's kind of the background. So what happened is Georgia, like many other places, is saying, no, we think killing babies is a bad thing, and we're going to put a law in that's going to ensure that you don't get to kill babies. All right, so far so good. Now, what has happened, and this is kind of amazing, is a bunch of our friends from Hollywood have decided that they want to have a say in what Georgia does, because sometimes they do productions in Georgia. So a bunch of Hollywood people signed a letter, and you may have heard of someone. Alyssa Milano, of course, Ben Stiller, which is a great disappointment, Jessica Chastain, who is popular for reasons that completely escape me. I mean, she's like boring. She's like Julia Stiles boring, which means super boring. Anyway, all these Hollywood stars have signed a letter essentially saying, we demand that you, Hicks in Georgia, obey our command and not kill babies, or allow us to kill babies. You don't ban the killing of babies. And if you don't, maybe we'll boycott you. Oh, yeah? Now I'm kind of wondering what the Georgia guys are saying. First of all, Georgia's looking at it going, you guys are going to go back to California and spend twice as much on a production, get no tax benefit, and do that just because you don't like our laws? You think we'll take that chance? We'll roll them bones. We'll roll them dice. Who the hell do these Hollywood people think they are? I mean, that's the real issue. That these Hollywood hacks, these dorks, think that they can go out to red states and if you don't obey us, we're not going to hang around you anymore. How do you think a red state's going to react to that? I mean, have they ever met anyone outside of red state? Because you got to understand how a Hollywood person is. They've got like their production assistant, and they're like, I said half latte, not full latte, and throws the cup at them and makes them pick up their laundry and walk their dogs or pet iguana or whatever the hell they have. They're used to getting their way. They're used to being thought of when you're a Hollywood star as an important person who matters. How much does Jessica Chastain think she matters in Columbus, Georgia? I would wager not so much. I actually spent some time in Georgia. I was stationed there at Fort Benning. And I got to know some of the local people. And they don't strike me as the kind of people who like a bunch of Yankee jerks coming and tell them what to do. Especially when what they're telling them to do is, you've got to make it cool to kill babies. Now, there's this fundamental misunderstanding about how Americans are among the left. especially ones who live in a bubble. And if you're in the Hollywood vibe, you live inside a bubble, which is inside another bubble, which is inside yet another bubble, and it is impenetrable. You just don't get how normal Americans are. Normal Americans are not the kind of people who really appreciate a bunch of snobs coming up and telling them you're hicks and you need to obey our commands or else we'll be displeased with you. This is not going to be a successful strategy with dealing with red Americans. And that's great. And we need more of it. We as red Americans, normal Americans, Americans who, built this country, feed this country, fuel this country, defend this country, need to understand that we're up against a bunch of people who think they're better than us, who think that they have some sort of moral superiority over us that allows them the ability to command us. And we must disabuse them of this notion. 3 words. And this is the non-profane version. There's a profane version. I bet you can guess it. Here's a response we need to practice. Go pound sand. Hey, I demand that you allow the killing of babies. Go pound sand. Hey, I want to tell you what to do. Go pound sand. I want to take your guns. Go pound sand. I want to ban cheeseburgers, cars, and airplanes. Go pound sand. Go pound sand. Hollywood guys, I know you're not used to hearing it. I know you're used to people smooching your behinds. But let me introduce you to Red America. Dude, it is not going to work the way you hope. This is Take That with Kurt Schlichter. If you like what you see here on my little 5-6 minute videos, why don't you take it to the next level? There's a Facebook thing up there. Hit that. There's a Twitter thing up there. Tweet this out. There's a subscription to The Rebel. Go subscribe. Be part of the magic. Get behind the paywall. There's great stuff there from all over the place. You're going to love it. Do that. If you like what I'm doing here, check them out every Tuesday and Friday. If you like my town hall columns, and you should, they come out every Monday and Thursday. Follow me on Twitter at Kurt Schlichter, and check out my books, Nonfiction, Militant Normals, Fiction, Wildfire. Bill Crystal hailed it as appalling. You're going to want to go get a copy. I'll see you next time on Take That with Kurt Schlichter.